We're back with SIRAJ Muyingo. He's my new best friend, helping me understand how to take proper selfies. And of course, he's going to introduce our Selfies project. Welcome back, SIRAJ.
Thank
you. So before the break, you were helping us personally understand how we can take our own, selfies. On the set, we have Samson. I had him here because he's the king of selfies on this couch. I mean, every time we have a guest, the first thing he wants to do is a guest selfie. So tell us more about this Selfies project.
Well, it's all about celebrating the revolution in photography.
Right.
So many photos, very, very amazing and beautiful photos, go unnoticed on a daily basis, because what Instagram and Facebook does, when you upload a photo, news feeds will keep on coming and will keep on going down.
Yes.
If I happen to log onto Facebook 2 hours after you upload your photo, it will be very hard for me to find it unless I have to go down. So what is Urban Selfies, the project all about? You take a selfie, a very good selfie of yourself. Basically, but what's a selfie anyway? We haven't described it.
A selfie is...
We haven't described a selfie.
Samson, help us understand.
I think a selfie is just... I got to know this whole idea of selfies when a certain Barack Obama decided to take a picture of himself with a blonde lady.
Yes.
And I think what made it such a big story is because a certain... sister in Christ of Barack Obama in the name of Michelle Obama wasn't too impressed.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, that's when I started to realize...
Can I just ad-lib here? Yeah. We are at a funeral. What are you doing, Barack?
Now, look at the face of Michelle Obama. I think she's pretending to be very attentive to what is going on, and yet she's more attentive to what
I like the face of the guy in the corner. You know the one next to
David Cameron.
David Cameron,
the
yes.
Prime
There we
Minister
go.
of Britain.
I think it's the one more interested in the selfie than Barack.
Don't be so sure. You don't know Barack.
So that tells you, if the President of the United States gets involved in something, then that tells you, I need to be involved. And if you are not involved in selfies, you are way behind 2014.
Yes. Is
that true?
It's very true. I mean, who doesn't want to capture a nice moment he's living?
Yes.
I mean, if I happen to meet Samson, my favorite celebrity, I will say, Samson, let's do.
Oh yeah.
But I can describe a selfie like this. It's a photograph you can take of yourself at an arm's length.
Okay.
Yeah, basically it's the photographer and a group of other friends. Either you're only one or there's some other people around you. But it's basically, you will always see a hand stretching out, and that will show that it's you who is taking the photograph.
Right.
But what are we saying? You take your selfie, a very nice selfie of yourself and your friends, somewhere in Uganda, somewhere abroad, either in diaspora, upload it to the urban page, and you'll see it on TV.
You'll see it on TV. So if I'm anywhere, whether in Makerere, anywhere in the parts of Uganda, if I take a selfie and I upload it on our page, we'll put it on TV.
Basically,
That's cool. Isn't that amazing?
I mean, you only don't stop at looking at yourself, but you get to share it with friends, because this is going to run on a daily basis.
Now, at what point, let me ask you something, just even before we get to the point, at what point do selfies start to get you into trouble? I mean, you saw that Barack Obama almost got himself in all sorts of trouble. Whatever the conversation was inside their bedroom after South Africa, I wish we had a selfie of that. But you advise against selfies in the bedroom. Do you have a girlfriend?
Yes, I do.
Would you want to see a selfie of her with another man?
Woo. It depends on what they're doing.
No, a selfie is a selfie. I mean, I'm talking, they've locked heads and then it's that.
Another man, a brother, right? A friend, right? Like I say, it depends on what they're doing and who's the man.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
Well, it's I'll tell you something. A recent study in the US is advising teenagers to run away from putting their heads together doing selfies.
Why?
They're saying it's a major cause of lies.
Of lies?
It's back.
Especially when you have dreadlocks.
No, it's back. So I think they're thinking of developing a headgear to avoid teenagers from developing heads, something like that.
Are you
But
serious,
yeah,
Raj?
yeah, a selfie will go out of hand if it's done extremely. I mean, like Mustang wanted the Ukraine kid who's always climbing buildings on top of them to do selfies. That's dangerous.
Don't look down.
That's dangerous.
Don't
That's
look
very
down.
dangerous.
Mm.
But a selfie at any moment where a person is trying to celebrate life, trying to live a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about these photos is there's a way in which you can see the rest of the city. You know, people climb mountains, they go to far destinations, and they take selfies wherever they are. Isn't this the best way to promote like tourism for us in Uganda? Is let's say if you go somewhere, a remote destination, like for me, if you get onto my Facebook page right now, it's flooded with pictures of Kazi and the lake because that's where I went.
Exactly. I mean, there is totally nothing wrong with me going to the US for the first time and crossing the famous San Francisco Bridge,
Right.
and stepping out of the vehicle to take a selfie of myself.
Yeah, you're saying something?
No.
Okay. At what point are selfies going to become the next big thing in journalism? I mean, we're talking, are we going to see a point where the front page of New Vision, instead of having the sort of pictures you take, we have a selfie in which I have both, because the beauty about a selfie, you have both the photographer, instead of saying photo taken by SIRAJ, you have the photographer and the subject. So at what point do I go and there is an event at Kololo, and like you're the president, and then I go like that, and there, and then we use that for the newspaper? Are we going to get there? Besides, I just got myself a selfie.
I knew that. But that point, I'm totally afraid of that time when it reaches, because that will mean
because you run out of business.
Yes, that will mean that, well, even at this moment right now, it's very hard, very hard, so if you get me right here, it's very hard to find staff photographers. Yeah, like a newspaper or a magazine having staff photographers. Either it's because of the aggressive cost-cutting methods newspapers are using these days. But at that moment when photojournalists will start using smartphone cameras to photograph, that will mean that they will stop spending the 7 figures people are spending on digital cameras, huge digital cameras. But then, when is that moment reaching? Because
no, I mean, I think what will happen, like you've said, that we're now having a 21 pixel
a
smartphone camera.
Yes.
So instead of developing the cameras you're using, we'll develop the smartphone cameras to that level. But the question I was asking is, do you see a point where we can have selfies being used in newspapers instead of the other pictures?
Maybe
is that going to happen?
Maybe to be a section in a newspaper. But I don't think I'd love to read the first page of a newspaper unless it's a tablet.
That's right.
Why? Because of picture quality?
Yeah, the picture quality basically, you take a very beautiful photo with your camera, with your phone, but actually when it comes to developing it, it will be very terrible at the end of the day.
Hope, Sophie, at some point we can have a selfie for the 3 of us.
Well, I'm sure with you here, that's definitely going to happen. All right. With the potential of us becoming the #1 reporter, it is the Selfies project that we are interested in. What you do is you take a photo of yourself, a selfie, send it to our Urban page. You can do that on Facebook and on Twitter, and we will air it right here on Urban today. So I hope that you will be part of that project, bound to be quite exciting. In a couple of minutes, we're going to have Daniel O'Mara in the studio with Business Unusual. All right, back in a moment.